Alright, hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Amanda, and I just want to do a quick um, thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate you guys. It does mean a lot to me that you guys are subscribing and watching my content. Um, so I do want to do just take a moment to say thank you for that. Two, I did have a special request to do this type of video. It's going to be um, another care guide on cheese, just a little more in depth, kind of my setup for him, the way ahead for him, just some general information about him, and everything else, and general information for if whatever type of turtle you're gonna get, like just the basic information that you're gonna get. Like I said, always research before you buy any animal. Always do your research, but there are some things that, um, let's say if you were to spur the moment get an animal, these are like the basic things you would need to have for them, and then research um, your specific turtle. That way, the Pacific turtle will be able to the Pacific turtle that you had. That way, you can make sure your care for that turtle is going well. Um, so some of the basics when it comes to getting a turtle, you will need a filter. A filter, there's a filter right there. You'll need a basking lamp, a UVB, a basking spot, decorations, which I have in here. Um, you can do live plants, or you can do decor. Um, what else? A heater, and then the turtle itself. Also, oh, and then you'll need some water conditioner to take out the chlorine in the water because they can't do all watertight. So those are like the basics that you will need to get for um, any setup. Okay, so I have two types of turtles. I have a Peninsula Cougar, and then I have a Southern painted turtle that's also in here as well. Um, this cage is a 20 cage. This aquarium is a 29 gallon. Um, but I have it right now. Probably um, it's right here, but it's been evacuating to down here. But I say a 15 gallon water right now. Um, a little less than half, basically. Um, and the way I do it is with my turtles, I'm kind of just slowly adding more water, maybe monthly, just so that they can build that the muscles in the arms to swim. Yes, they're turtles, but I'm not saying they're weak swimmers, but I see it kind of like when I research turtles in the wild. Um, they start off on the shadow end, one because they want to be able to lift their head up. They might not be strong enough to lift their head up to get air. Um, the prey is small, so and two, um, they want to make sure they're covered in leaf, a leafy area. That way, predators don't come and get them. So um, that's kind of the reason behind me starting off low, is because that's kind of what they would do in a while. And then as they get bigger, and the prey gets more bigger, they'll swim further into I guess the middle where it's the deepest and everything. Um, and they can hold a breath and get back to the top as well. So that's when they'll start flowing out to the middle of the river, pond, ocean, whatever. A really cool fact about turtles that I find very interesting is when the first turtle, like when the mom lays the eggs, um, what happens is when it's time to hatch, the first turtle will kind of pip his head, do his little thing, get out the eggshell, and then it sends a signal to all the other turtles in the little sand. It's time to get out. It's time to get out. So you'll see that's when all the turtles come out together. Well, first of all, it's a protection thing because um, more opportunities, um, less opportunities to get picked off. You'll have. So, like I was saying, it sends a signal to all the other ones, and they come out the sand or wherever they're buried at. And like I said, they come out in a group one because the more there are, they become overran. The more there are, the predators sometimes, if it's, how can I explain this? If it's 100 eggs, they all hatch out. You know, if only 10 of them get eaten by prey, that's 90 that actually survived to at least make it to the ocean or pond or whatever. Um, so you can see how there are more numbers, the strength in numbers when it comes to all coming out at the same time. So that's cool, and I thought that was really cool how they send the signals to everybody else to come out. Um, so going back to him or her, because I don't know what I have yet. Um, so like I told you before, um, sitting at a 15-gallon. I do have the tank filter is a 70-gallon filter right now. I have a 30-gallon in this corner and a 40-gallon. Now, the reason my filter filtration is so on a 70 is because I have two. So they poop twice as much. Who knew turtles could be so messy? Also, I do have a bubbler in here. The bubbler helps with the water, just moving the water around, making sure that there's oxygen in the water. I do love this product. I forgot what it's called, what brand it is. I want to say Top Fin. The reason I love it is just because just how much bubbles it gives off. And the turtles actually love it. They like playing with it. Cheese likes eating the bubbles. And then the little one, he'll like ride them up to the top. So they like to play with the bubbles. It gives them a little enrichment. So I like it because of that reason. But like I said, like I told y'all before, they do shed on their shell, and beneath their shell, they shed on their skin as well. It shouldn't be excessive, where it's like I told y'all before, it shouldn't be where like when you wake up in the morning you're ashy and then you're able to just peel it all off. It should come off in small sections, and that's how you know it's healthy. The other thing is that I had to learn myself is don't overfeed. It is very easy to overfeed these guys. So he is back at 6 to 8 pellets, and then his little buddy over here, he's up to I think 3 pellets because he's really small. And this one is a Peninsula Cooter, and the little one, he's a southern painted turtle that I have to do a video on as well. I'm going to do a video on him too. The other things you need for your tank is going to be a heater. Right now my heater is 100 watts. As they get bigger, I will get a stronger heater for them, but right now this 100 watt is good enough for them. Also, you will need a thermometer. My thermometer's on the side. I just pasted it to the glass, and it's sitting at 78 right now, Fahrenheit. So that's how much the water is. And the heater that I got, it actually is preset at 78. So I don't believe it gets any stronger than 78. I think that's like the normal for it. So right now they're sitting at a comfortable level. What else is in here? Decoration. Most of the decoration, and a lot of people will tell you, is the decoration you should get is the type where they can kind of climb to get to the basking area. So basically they have like a bridge right here. This is the first bridge they got when they were babies. So this was the basking right when I first started in Gotham. But now I switched to, I think it's a medium, it's a large actually, a large basking rock. So you will need that to make sure they're getting basking. My lights, so my light, when I first bought this, it came with a 50 watts basking lamp, and then it came with a UVB. I forgot what strength the UVB was, but I upgraded to a 75 watt, and the UVB is a 10 watt with some change. It's a 10 watt, but I forgot what, I think it's like 5% or something like that it gives off, so that's good for them. Again, the basking rod, cool thing about this is The basking is just for the sun portion of it, so that they get heat. They're getting like the vitamin D kind of portion of it. The UVV, that is for their shell growth. That's for the muscular skeletons to grow right. Um, and what else? Um, Skin care and shell, basically the shell as well. Mainly it's the skeleton, their shell, making sure that the shell grows the way it's supposed to. That's normally how you know if there's something going on, or if they're not getting the proper UVB. Is one, their shell will be more um, pyramid like. You might have some curling on the side where it's like instead of going down, it might curl up. Um, and let's see what else. Extra shedding, like I was having issues with. Um, so it's a couple things that UVB kind of prevents. Um, so you have that. Um, what else? He, I, she, the turtle, Cheese, is very curious. I love his personality. Um, like I said, he likes to eat the bubbles. So when I come home, sometimes he'll be sitting over here trying to eat the bubbles, catch the bubbles, eat them. Um, and this is like the favorite area to kind of hang out with at. Um, the other thing with Cheese, he's very observant. So he's very like I'm switching the meal time right now because of my work schedule. Um, so instead of feeding him in the morning, I'm feeding him in the evening. So, but when I was feeding him in the morning, when I got up and turned the light on, um, I would basically like turn everybody's light on. So I would turn their light on, the fish light, the crested gecko, the leopard gecko light, um, and then I would replace everybody's water and food and everything. And then once I did that, I'll come back and feed them. But while I'm doing that, they will immediately like lift a little head up and they're watching me like, okay, when you gonna feed me? So they're very like once they get used to you, they will start like peeping their head out and be like, okay, where she at? I see you. Where my food at? Uh, they're very observant. So they, like I said, they do have personalities. Excuse me. They do have like personalities and everything. That's one thing I do like about them. They're very interactive with you. Um, he actually is very like interactive. Like if you play with the glass, he'll come near the glass and everything like that. So like I said, they're very very smart, very curious, very observant. So they're always moving around. They very are strong swimmers. He's very moving in the water. There are some turtles that like dominantly stay at the bottom. There's some turtles that kind of are more active, all three levels, bottom, top, and bottom, middle, and top. So that's kind of like him. He's all over the tank. So he's not just like a turtle that's gonna stay at the bottom. So you have that. He's actually very strong, even for this size. So there are some nights where I can hear him moving the rocks in the cage. He moves the little blower sometimes because like food will fall on this side of the blower. I mean not on the bubbles. So he's moving that to get on this side. He has moved the wooden driftwood that's in here. He's moved that a couple times. He does move this little. It was a beta thing that I had in the beta tank, but I took it out, put it in here. So he moves that sometimes. He'll move the heater. He's moved the little filter on this side. So he's very strong. He's very like I promise you, the stuff he put in here is not gonna stay the way you had it because he's gonna rearrange. So he's very strong. So I do know as he gets bigger, he's just gonna get stronger. They do well with plant life. I don't have anything in here just because, like I said, he will be going to a 55-gallon when this goes up, and that will be the tank that I'm gonna set up permanently for these guys. Well, he'll be going to a kiddie pool. That will be his final stop. But the 55-gallon is where I'm gonna put the fish, the live plants. What else is going in there? Basically, it's gonna be set up for fish and the turtles. Like I said, he will only be in there temporarily until he outgrows the 55-gallon, and then he'll move outside during the summer. He'll have an outside pond, and then in the wintertime, because of the state that I live in, he will move back inside until winter is over and it starts to warm back up, and then I'll put him back outside, or her back outside. So what else can I tell you about these guys? You will need, like I said, everything I went over. These are the things that they will need as they continue to grow. The filter will always be twice the size of the tank that you get. So if you get a 55-gallon, you're looking at least a 100-gallon filter. A filter that can do at least 100 gallons. So always twice the amount of what tank it is, size-wise. If you leave them outside, you do not need a bulb or UVB, because they'll be getting natural sunlight, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. But if you keep them inside, make sure you just have the right UVB and basking. Make sure they have a place to come up and bask. The basking spot I have is a large one because I have 2 turtles, but even if I didn't have 2 turtles, I probably still would have got a large, just because I wanted to make sure he had enough room to actually like turn around if he wanted to, just walk up there and comfortably, and everything like that. So that's why I kind of went bigger with that. The heater, you will have to get a bigger size. As your tank gets bigger, you will have to get the heater to kind of match what the tank size is, basically. When it comes to decoration, if you do gravel, it needs to be rocks that are bigger than the mouth. So right now, these rocks, they can't eat them. They can't swallow them, they can't do anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that. You can do sand. I have seen sand bottoms for turtles as well. Sand is fine, and like I said, big rocks are fine. Also, you can, if you don't, a lot of the food comes with calcium in it. So right now he's on he's eating this. So it's shrimp, mealworms that are dried, and then he has the floating sticks. It does have calcium in this, but if you feel like they're not getting enough calcium, you can get a cutter bone, and they can do either land turtles or aquatic turtles. So you just kind of take a piece, you put it in there, and if they need extra calcium, they'll bite into it. It does help with, like I said, calcium. It helps with their beak as well. Not sharpening their beak, but helping it stay the right length, so that their beak doesn't get. Also helps with when they move stuff around, that's using their claws, nailing, causing their nails to kind of like naturally, I can't think of the words, but naturally kind of like stay low, keeps the beak in shape, and like I said, it provides calcium. So when it comes to putting in here, there's a hard piece. Some people say you can remove the hard back portion. Some people just put it in there. I put it in there. I just wanted to see what the difference was. He still bit into it. I mean, he didn't have any issues with it. But I have seen people say, like, you can take the back off or whatever. You will need a water conditioner, because like I said, you can't use just regular tap water, so you'll have to use a water conditioner. Oops, that's not a water conditioner. Oh, this guy too. Hold on. So you'll have a water conditioner. It's like tap removal, just the normal stuff you can get for, your fish products. You get the same for that, turtles too. They do have a reptile one. I did ask before I used this, like, hey, is it the same? They said, yeah, it's the same. The only difference is one says reptile, the other one doesn't. So you have that. The other thing that's going to be your best friend is this guy right here. Um, the oils that the turtle produces and the waste and everything, it commits like this sludge. Um, and the waste and food basically is kind of like, it's not allergy, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like an oily product, and it grows on your rocks, it'll go on your decorations, and if you take the decoration, it has like this slimy coating, so like your hands should just like that, like it comes right off. And that's the slimy coat that it's talking about. So you'll put that in there. On water changes, it just kind of helps the decoration not be so slimy, helps the water not be so slimy, or produce that oily material that we were talking about earlier. That helps it with that as well. What else? I did tell you guys they get from, on average, I want to say 9 to 13, with some exceeding as big as 16. So just keep that in mind. These are really big turtles. So if you have an indoor place, just know that you're going to need a big pond. If you decide to keep them inside, or if you want to keep them outside, they will need a kiddie pit pool, or you can make a homemade pool, or however you would like to do that. But they will eventually need a large area for them. What else can I say about you guys? That is pretty much all that I have. But like I said, these guys do like the bass, so they do like to come on top and just chill and enjoy the heat and the UVB. So this is little partner likes to do the same thing as well. And when it comes to just making sure, like, they, decoration wise, I know I'm jumping a little bit, but I did want to make sure, like, as you get higher in the tank, like I said, this is a 29 gallon, so as I put more water here, the decorations will kind of increase or get taller. That way, if he gets tired, let's say, he can just kind of rest on the branch real quick, take a little breather, and then keep going up. That way he's just not swimming, and then, you know. These guys can hold their breath underwater for a long period of time before they have to come up and get water, and that just increases as they get bigger. So right now he's kind of like checking out the top view of everything, and his little partner down there as well. So he is a part of the Cooter family. So if you ever want to come up, he's a part of the Florida Cougars, which is where he's actually naturally from, Florida. Peninsula Cougars are a part of Florida area, but they're different than a Florida Cougar. So he's a part of that family. And most of them, like I said, get kind of big for the most part. His counterpart, the southern painted turtle, he's a part of the painted family, so the red sliders, the yellow belly sliders, stuff like that. So anything that really has to do with painted in their name is going to be his family. But like I said, I will do a more in-depth video on him later as well. Right now they eat every day. As they get bigger, I won't feed them every day. You'll feed them like every other day, maybe as they get bigger. With reptiles, they eat less as they get bigger than when they first start. So he won't get fed every day as he gets bigger. If you are going to put him in a tank with fish, I suggest you get live breeders. The reasons I say live breeders is because live breeders tend to reproduce a lot faster, and you'll have to replace the fish that they catch and eat. So please note, if you do get fish that's on their diet, so you may be missing a couple fish. It won't be like a whole colony that he just wipes out. No, it's normally like the slow ones that he catches that he'll eat but they'll replenish themselves enough where the few that he eats will not um, dent the colony because it's a live breeder colony. So that part you will not have to worry about. So that's why I said live breeders are best. So you're looking at mollies, you're looking at tetras, you're looking at what else? I cannot think of all the more the community fish that are only live breeders that you can get. You do not want to have anything that has really long fins because that's he might pick on them, just pick at the tails. So anything with really long fins, slow moving fish probably would not do well with them, just because the slower they are, the easier he can catch them. So you want something that's moving, that he kind of can't catch and don't have long fins. So yeah. What else? Some of the differences between males and females. The females will have a larger dome on them, while males will have a smaller dome. Males' nails tend to be longer as well. Males tend to be smaller than females. Females will be bigger. If you do have a female, you will need a place for them to like a nest so they can bury eggs. Even if they do not have a male presence, they still will lay eggs, so they will still need a place to lay eggs. I want to say the maturity was, I want to say at 5 to 7 years, but I have to double check that. But that's the number that's coming in my head for maturity and when they kind of hit that age when they're able to actually start breeding and laying eggs. All right. Sorry, my son came up and talked to me. What else? Yeah, 7 to 8 when they start laying eggs. Sorry about that if I repeated myself. And like I said, the females will need a lay box, regardless if they have a male present or not. They're still going to lay eggs. They're just not going to be fertile. But overall, these are very lively turtles. They're very curious, observant. Cool. Overall, it's a cool pet. It is a really cool pet. I have learned a lot from him or her. The sex is still out for debate. But like I said, he's very, she's very interesting to watch. I don't know. I know we did this tape a couple times. I'm not sure if I mentioned the temperature, but the temperature in this tank is 78. I do have like a water temp on the side that I just stuck on the tank, and it just kind of keeps the water pressure for me, water temp for me. That way I know where the water's sitting at, basically. But yeah, other than that, they are communal. Like I said, he does live with another fish. I mean, not fish, but he does live with another turtle. So they are communal. It is best probably to make sure that the turtles are like around the same size. But the southern painted turtle, he does hold his own against him. He still makes sure he eats. He does go out and get his food. He doesn't let cheese push him around or anything like that. So yeah, so he goes out and makes sure he eats, and I make sure he gets his food too. But other than that, they are really, really great animals to get. If this is going to be your first pet, like I said before, any pet you get, you need to make sure you do your research on them. Make sure you have everything you need before you just go out and buy the pet. Make sure water quality is good before you just go out and get a pet. And just Budget's always going to be a thing. Um, Make sure you budget to make sure you can always take care of your pet. I understand that, in today's world, things happen. One day we're able to take care of this pet, the next we're not, due to um, certain losses or just things in life happen. So I do understand that happens. But overall, just make sure, like, try not to just go into a store and be like, hey, that's cute, have no information on it, don't know how to take care of it, and then take it home, because um, even though you think you're doing the right thing, you could be doing something wrong. And even, I will say, even though you could research, hands-on experience is also good too, because um, sometimes not knowing or an animal showing a different sign, even though you research, you may not notice, oh, what's this, until maybe your animal did it. And then it's like, okay, that's my mistake, I own it. um, and hands-on experience is good as well. Research can't tell you everything. Hands-on is always good as well. But overall, that is basically the care for a Peninsula Cougar. Um, they, like I said, they're wonderful pets. I really can't say nothing negative about these guys. Do I think they'll begin a pet? Yeah, I think they'll begin a pet. Like I said, he's not too much trouble. The only big thing will be closure space. Well, when he gets 9 to um, 13 to 16 inches, like, are you going to have space to keep this animal? So I would keep probably that more in mind than when he's little, because while the little, the 29 gallon, as you can see, is fine, or a 55 gallon is fine. So I don't think you should worry about when they're hatchling. I think it's more about where you're gonna put them when they get bigger is where you should probably think about that the most. Um, but other than that, um, that's really all I have for today's show. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and comment below if y'all want to see anything else. Like I said, I will have a video coming out about the southern painted turtle that I have coming up. I hope the subscriber, I answered all your questions about my turtle cheese. And if you have any other questions, just let me know, email me, and I'll try to see what I can do to make sure I can answer, or put out a video about it as well. Again, thank you for subscribing and liking my stuff, and comment below, and I'll see you next week for another video. Peace out.